Say your prayers, Andros.
Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. In this video today, we're going to be talking about the latest N64 native PC port. So previously on the channel, we've looked at stuff like Majora's Mask. One of my favorites is Perfect Dark. It is just a banger. Those are great games on a Nintendo 64, but what's really nice now, you don't have your Nintendo 64 kicking about. You've got options. You can play those classic games via a software emulator. You can play them via an FPGA platform such as the Mr. FPGA, which has a fantastic Nintendo 64 core. Or in my opinion, the best possible way of playing it are these native PC ports. So the Star Fox PC port is finally out. Guys, it's beautiful. It runs at 60 frames per second and it has absolutely brilliant widescreen support. Now I played this for the whole part, and honestly, it is just amazing. From when it starts, the graphics look HD, so they look better on a modern screen. Now don't get me wrong, I like my retro stuff looking retro, but with the N64 stuff, I do make an exception. I thoroughly enjoyed Perfect Dark, and now I'm really enjoying this. Star Fox 64 is something that I played on the Nintendo 64. I really liked it. A little bit of trivia here, but in the UK, it was called Lilac Wars, and I think that is what it was called across Europe. So when I got it, when I played it, it was Lilac Wars. I really enjoyed it on the Nintendo 64. What I enjoyed it on after that was like the 3DS. If you've got a 3DS kicking about, or you managed to get one, or if you've got one and you haven't got the game, try it out. It looks beautiful on the 3DS screen. I recommend playing it on the new 3DS as opposed to the old one, but guys, that was fantastic, and that is another way that I relived the game. Then I kind of relived the game when testing out the Mr. FPGA N64 core and playing it again. But this is a game I like to play again and again, and this for me is the definitive version. Now when you download this game, it will give you instructions as to how to install it. You will need your own copy of the ROM, so the links that I'll provide you in the description will take you over to the patch files, everything bar the ROM. You need to provide your own ROM. But the instructions are in there. Make sure when you extract the file, you go into the README. There's a README file in there. It's even got instructions for how to get this up and running on the Mac. If you want to get this on your Steam Deck, I don't remember seeing the instructions in there, but usually it's pretty straightforward. It's the same when you're running, like when you're adding a non-Steam game, you're adding a Windows game and you're pointing the executable to Steam. The same kind of principle applies. Even though I haven't tried it, there's likely tutorials up there to make it easier for you. But this is just a fantastic game. You don't need a PC with like a RTX 4090. Honestly, any recent CPU within the last 5 years will easily run this without a dedicated graphics card. So what else can we say about this? Let's talk a little bit about Star Fox. So Star Fox is a 3D rail shooter, like a vehicular one, right? I particularly like obviously the R-Wing, the main ship in there. There's parts in the game where you're a tank, and that's fantastic. Now some of the levels are quite linear, but some of them are like in an arena where you're kind of flying around, where you're within like a certain area like a dome, and you fly around and you do stuff. This just has everything in there. It's as good as the Nintendo 64, and it's the best way you can play on a PC. I would honestly say play this as a preference over a software emulator. So who do you control in here? You control Fox McCloud. So Star Fox started on the Super Nintendo, and honestly, it's not a game I really played on the Super Nintendo. I remember seeing it. I remember lots of praise about it and how great this game is, and what a tech kind of, you know, what a technical achievement it was for the time. I remember it running at a very bad frame rate, but it came out in an era where we didn't really care about frame rates. There is a hack out, I think it's called Star Fox EX, or I can't remember what it's called. Can-Do 1-2 is one of the developers that's behind that, but yeah, they've kind of made like a superior version of the original Star Fox. But now this is Star Fox 64, so you control Fox McCloud and you're piloting the R-Wing through a series of levels, branching paths, allowing you for replayability as you go through the map. And one thing in here, I really like the map as well. You can move it around. It just looks really good. As well as that, in this PC port of the game, it's got lots and lots of options. So if you just want a level select, you want cheats, infinite lives, infinite bombs, you can start as different characters. It just has everything going for it. It's got a debug mode. Guys, it's just really good. So I initially started playing this for the video. I done like the first 3 or 4 stages, and then I thought, oh, let me look at the menus, and I was like, oh man, I could have just captured like a little part of each level because it's got a level skip built in. Honestly guys, this game is a 10 out of 10. If you played Star Fox 64 and that was one of the games you liked, honestly, you are proper gonna appreciate this. And that's what I mainly cover, FPGA stuff, but when I kind of venture away from FPGA gaming, it's for cool stuff like this. Everyone has to play it. This is the definitive way now to play Star Fox 64. A little bit of a fun fact here. So the phrase "do a barrel roll," it became somewhat of a cultural phenomenon and like an internet meme, often used as a playful command to perform a quick action. At one point as well, I think it might even be right, go into Google and just tell Google "do a barrel roll," and if I remember correctly, the screen actually does a barrel roll for you. So that's kind of it, man. That's really it. Let me just give the developer a shout. So over on GitHub, if you look at it, it's not called Star Fox 64 PC, even though that's what I like to call it. It's called Starship Centauri Alpha. That's the title of it, but essentially it is Star Fox 64. Also want to send a shout out to Mighty Andros 64 because that Twitter account is where I first heard about this game, and that is why you're kind of seeing this video. So guys, go and try this out now. It's not that difficult to patch. The instructions are there for you. Just make sure when you grab yourself that download, you actually head over to the readme that's included and you run it on your system of choice. You can't go wrong with it. Try it. It's amazing getting these native PC ports of classic games, especially the N64 ones, man. Like Mura's Mask, fantastic. Best way you can play that game. I think there's an Ocarina of Time one as well. I can't remember if I've checked that one out or not. Then obviously Perfect Dark is just wicked. You can play it with like a mouse and keyboard if that's how you like playing your stuff, or you can play it with a controller. The choice is yours. But that's really it for this video, guys. Be absolutely awesome to one another. Go and play Star Fox 64 PC. I can't say it enough. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.